Alright, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. Today I wanted to basically discuss, or should I say, give you my opinion on the upcoming changes that Global is getting. Well, not changes, but just the dev notes and stuff. Obviously, the first thing is the Oslo and Cock. We are getting Oslo and Cock before JP will. They're not a global exclusive. They're just a JP first. So it's okay, I guess. We'll have to see. They're not going to be free because they didn't mention that they're free. They always do mention if something's free. They let us know, some way, shape, or form. So they're pretty much confirmed to be a banner unit. I don't think they'll be like festival or anything because, you can't necessarily try and sell two animals as a festival unit to the consumers, right? To us, where I don't think people are going to be buying that stuff unless they're incredibly broken units. But generally speaking, whoopee, we get something first on global, happy days. So other than that, we are getting Super Awakening. They spoke about Guild Wars, which I don't really care too much about. Guild Wars is cool and stuff, but it's very well heavy, so most people probably aren't gonna enjoy it anyway. But the biggest thing is gonna be Super Awakening. That's that's the thing that everyone is gonna be curious about and excited for, right? Obviously no one's gonna be excited for Super Awakening because, like any other power scaling mechanic, it just adds a whole new grind or a whole new thing to spend money on for players that spend. And generally speaking, it's not too bad now because they did fix it. Someone did leak that Global is going to be getting the updated Super Awakening. We're not going to get the one that's restricted to alt levels, because that's the first one that came out on JP and a lot of people got very fucked by that. If you were free to play, you were screwed, because unless you had a unit 4 out of 6, you couldn't Super Awaken them to 4 out of 6, which is the highest tier of Super Awakening that there currently is. So yeah, man, pretty not, I wouldn't say scummy, because the way they fixed it makes it not too bad, but it's still not the greatest mechanic. The reason why I don't like it is because with every new power scaling mechanic, you have to apply that to all the units going forward, just like with UR gear and level 80 and to a lesser extent costume awakening. Costume awakening is pretty damn irrelevant, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you max someone's costumes, they're gonna get 150 attack, 150 defense, and I think it's 1,000 extra HP. So that that's not the biggest deal at all. It's really not much. But Super Awakening, although it's not as big as it's not as big of a power scale as UR gear is, because UR gear is the biggest power scale we've had in the game. The the bonus you get from UR gear is ridiculous. It's a very, very high bonus. So Super Awakening is much higher than the Costume Awakening, but I think it's just under UR gear in terms of how big the power scale is. So, but obviously it's a completely different thing, because like UR gear, you can just buy the like, if you're a whale, you can just buy the UR gear packs. There's really no issue with that. And if you're free to play, then you have to wait for special events where you can get engraven stones, or you have to get RNG luck from the cave, and the cave RNG can be pretty damn bad. At minimum you get 9 stones, which you can't that's not even enough for one piece of UR gear, and at max you get 18 if you're incredibly lucky. So it's like, the point I'm trying to say is with these new mechanics, it's going to take time, right? And I'm mainly addressing the free-to-play players, because if you are pay to win, if you're a whale, or you just spend any amount of money, you're going to have no issue with this. If you're a whale, you're going to have SSR coins, you're going to have gold coins. If you spend a little bit, you're probably going to have SSR coins, gold coins lying around. I'm fairly convinced that free-to-play players, they're not going to have all that much, sitting there waiting for them. They're really not, which is why I think most, if not all, free-to-plays are gonna struggle very hard for the first, the first a few weeks, I would say, maybe even months, maybe. When I say months, maybe months is a bit extreme, but you know what I mean, right? It's gonna take a while. before you get you know, fully accustomed to all of the shenanigans. Basically what I mean is, your main way to obtain the coins is gonna be basically doing the Tower of Trials and whatever else you can scrape from, you know, your ticket pools or whatever. If you have any SSR coins of units that you're not gonna use and stuff like that, that's pretty much the main way. Other than that, you know, you're gonna have to make do with what you get. Now Global did give us those fragments, whatever the heck those are. Considering they're called fragments, I feel like we are gonna, you know, I think you'll be able to exchange them for Super Awakening coins, because they're fragments, right? They don't seem like it doesn't look to me like it's something that we're just gonna get a ton of instantly. Do you know what I mean? I think with the fragments we're probably gonna have to wait and see. But I do think just because just based on the fact they're called fragments, I think you know, there'll be a smaller part of a bigger picture. I think we are going to be able to get some free stuff with them. Also, just a quick side note, don't use CC food with the Monspeed Ignite team. Don't do it. Always attack food. But other than that, yeah, what else did I want to speak about? I think is that it really? Alright, no, so let's just say, right, because a few people did ask me this on Twitter, who are the main units to Super Awaken, or, you know, what do you have in mind? The way I see Super Awakening, you need, like, it should be different for every player, because every player is going to have a different box. They're going to have different units leveled up. They're going to have different units who are, you know, worth more to them than others. Mainly, if you're a whale, you know, there's always the distinction between whale and light spenders and free to plays. Whales, they don't, you know, you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. I don't need to tell you what you need to do. The light spenders and the free to plays, what I recommend is first off, Super Awaken your best PvP team, or your best units that you use in PvP, because that's where you're gonna see the biggest difference. Like, you know, who gives a damn if you're in PvE and you know, your units are Super Awakened or they're not? I guess if you're that guy who loves Guild Boss, sure thing, you can Super Awaken your Guild Boss units. You can do that, you know, get better scores for your guild, all that good stuff. But if you are a guy who enjoys PvP, which I feel like that's the main selling point of this game, honestly, if this game didn't have PvP, I guarantee you, you know, I don't think what the selling point of this game would be if it wasn't for PvP, because everything else is pretty irrelevant, right? This is why we build gear, this is why we summon for dupes and all that stuff, because of PvP, right? So, or at least in my opinion, that's what it is. If it's different for you, then by all means I understand, but that's my opinion. So sort out your PvP team first, then once you do that, feel free to do whatever the heck you want. I don't think you need to Super Awaken your raid units, I really don't, because raids are easy enough as it is. Even on hell difficulty, you can auto all 3 hell demons if you are a whale. Oh, alright, enough joking. You know, if you're struggling as a free to play to you know, deal with the hell demons, which I don't think you should be, maybe consider Super Awakening them at a later date, because remember, you are free to play. You're not gonna have access to all the coins in the world like other people do. Do you know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Someone like me, sure thing, I can awaken you know, I don't know, 108 coins. I can awaken like 20 plus units or whatever, you know, right at the start, so I'll be fine. But for you guys, remember, it costs 7 coins if you have a unit 4-6 or above. 7 coins, SSR coins, like dupe coins, not the free to play ones, because the free to play SSR coins are worth less, which is pretty scummy. But yeah, keep in mind, it takes 7 to Super Awaken a unit who is 4 out of 6 or above. So yeah, unless you have quite the abundance of coins, I don't think you'll be Super Awakening everyone left, right and center. But you know, Tower of Trials resets every month. You get a lot of Super Awakening coins there. You get a lot of rewards as well. You get hammers, you get anvils, you get gems, you get costume material, you get everything you could possibly want from the Tower of Trials. So you know, just hold it down and you'll be a-okay. Now of course, the thing with all the new power scaling mechanics, the costume awakening, the UR gear and Super Awakening, what you see is at first Obviously the whales are always going to take advantage of it. The whales are going to super awaken all their units, they're going to costume awaken their best units, they're going to, you know, have UR gear for all their units. The free to plays, you're not going to be able to do that, and even the light spenders, if you don't spend as much, you won't be able to do that. But eventually you will. Eventually you will catch up to these whales. Eventually you will end up on the same power level as them. It just takes a lot of time, man, you know, because there's a cap to everything, you know. Gear is capped at 15%, you know, you can only max out 5 costumes, you can only super awaken up to, you know, you can only super awaken up to 4 stars. I guess dupes is, you know, probably the hardest thing to catch up on, because that just includes summoning, and summoning is exclusively money pretty much, because we do know that global is not exactly the most friendly. So apart from dupes, everything else you can easily work towards slowly. So yeah, man, that would be my advice. Take it easy, you know, don't quit the game because of super awakening. Things will get better for you. You'll struggle at first, but such is the nature of being free to play in a game that is predatory. No, I'm not gonna deny it or anything. You know, these mechanics can be very predatory, and mainly just a way to get more money out of the players. Like with super awakening, they're just basically saying, you know, you need to summon more so you get more coins, and then, you know, use those coins to use them to super awakening units. Everything revolves around money, right? So just take it easy if you're free to play. If you're a whale, go ahead and you know, do your thing. Don't need to tell you what you need to do. And yeah, that's my opinion. Of course, when it comes to things that are opinion based, I always recommend you listen, or you watch multiple people's videos so you get multiple opinions. You should never ever watch one person or listen to one opinion and take that as fact. Never recommend you do that. Always watch multiple people's so you get multiple points of views, and that way you can take in the information and hopefully steer your head towards you know, not an accurate opinion, but you know, you can wrap your head around it, right? So you know, watch my video. I'm pretty sure you've watched other people's, because I've watched a few other people's videos explaining their thoughts on super awakening. So keep your mind open and never listen to just one person. But anyway, that'll be it from me. Hope you enjoyed my opinion on this, and I'll see you guys later on for a PvP video. Take care.